to be, to see. Oh, things that I every morning the light keeps getting.
Well, good morning, everybody. I hope I'm getting you guys back. Good morning. We've been having some. I think the internet is kind of broken this morning. Having something to do probably with how many people are broadcasting Easter services. Seems like I'm live and I'm on. Let's see if everybody can come back on. And let me go ahead and see if I can Skype back in with Jamie Lula. And also with Lori and, let's see, there's Skype. Let's get to our meeting now. Start call. Okay, share the call, copy the link, and let's see. Anybody coming back on? Okay, good morning. You're back. All right, we're coming back. It was very weird. It just would not go live. So let me get to Jamie. Continue to stream. Let's go to Jamie Lula. Let's see if I can get Jamie on.
I am listening to the music of the Holy Spirit.
You can hear that music too.
Oh, what a song God is singing. I will listen all day long. I will listen all day long.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, hey 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 yeah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Spirit.
Praise the Spirit.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hey yeah.
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 Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Praise the Spirit.
Praise Every morning, the light keeps getting brighter as I wake up to the truth. And every day, I'm feeling so much lighter, and the world seems fresh and new. What I was taught and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. Now I'm learning to trust in the God of I'm walking away from the thinking that held me. I'm walking away from the path. I walk away. Every day I walk away. Every morning brings a new beginning. By grace another day to be. I away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to confusion. Today is the day I walk away. Oh, I'm walking away from the less than that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led me to such sadness. Every day I walk away. Today is the day I walk away.
Okay. This is so strange. Jamie, can you hear me? Jamie, can you hear me? Jamie? Jamie, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Jamie?
It's interesting because...
Jamie, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, let's do a song, Jamie, because technical issues are really messed up today. So let's just go ahead and start right there with you doing your first song, okay? And Lori, mute your microphone, please. Thank you. Hi, Jamie. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, we are having technical issues today. It's probably because a million people are streaming Easter services today.
Exactly.
Okay, turn down your. I'm going to mute my mic and I'm going to let you sing. So please do your first song.
Okay, bless your heart.
Here we go.
Blessings, High Desert.
We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, I am that I am. Oh, I am that I am. that I am. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. Oh, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the love that we seek. We are the seeds we are sowing. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap. We are the harvest we reap.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you, Reverend Dr. Doug.
It's funny because we're having I got the feeling that it's because every congregation in the universe is either doing a Passover Seder or an Easter service this morning. But thank you for bringing your gifts to us today. And I know that we also have Judy on for practitioner today too. So I'm going to go on. So if you'll do me the favor and simply, I'm going to mute Skype here. So I'm going to mute the Skype mic. So hang out. You got another song for right before my talk. And good morning, everyone. And let's go directly to our promises this morning. And let's say these together. I keep the promise that I have made myself to affirm in this moment that I am abundant, healthy, strong, and happy. I keep the intention to daily speak this truth to my inner soul, telling it that it is wonderful and marvelous, that it is one with the great cause of life, truth, power, and action. I whisper these things into my soul until it breaks forth into songs of joy with the realization of its limitless possibilities. I assure my soul. And to assure our souls, let's sing, let's remember who we are. I've got my ukulele today, so let's remember who we are. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. Sing that to me. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. We are life. 'Cause we are life, we are light, we are love. We are joy, we are peace, we are wisdom and beautiful harmony. We are pure spirit. I remember who I am. I remember who you are and who we are is pure spirit. Yes, who we are is pure spirit. Oh, who we are is pure spirit. Okay, pure spirit. All right, so let's go directly on to our community affirmation. The words of Dr. Holmes from What We Believe, originally published in Science of Mind magazine back in 1927. Let's read these together. I believe in one power, one living spirit, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. I believe that spirit expresses through me and is the unity of all life. I believe that the kingdom of heaven is within, and that we experience this kingdom to the degree that we become conscious of it. I believe that all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. Okay, well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back. And I realize that we had some YouTube technical issues this morning, but I see an awful lot of people back on, 31 log-ons right now, and people can hear. Good. I'm so glad. what was happening was every time I would start the broadcast, it would broadcast for a few seconds, and then it would say, the broadcast has stopped due to a technical issue. And don't know what that technical issue was. We also are doing something new for the first time this morning because we're Skyping in both with Jamie as our musical artist and with Judy as our practitioner. And so let me go to Doug and Judy right now. Let me see if I get Judy on here. There's Judy. Hi, Judy. Can you hear me? Let's Judy, let's unmute your, let me see if I got you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. All right, Judy, good morning. How's everything at the center this morning?
It's beautiful here this morning. We even have the iris starting to bloom.
Oh, beautiful. Well, good morning to you, and it's time. Let's do the flames of faith and start off with the affirmation. And you have the affirmation there?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I will say it, then ask
Okay,
you
go
to
for
join
it.
me. Today, I am open to great changes in my life. I claim my greatness now. And join me. Today, I am open to great changes in my life. I claim my greatness now.
Claim my greatness now.
Okay, and now we'll go to the flames of faith. We perform the ceremony on Sunday to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all beings, come from the great one universal presence, which we call spirit. The unity candle represents the unifying nature of all religions through experience, which we honor here today. We light the first candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the second candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the third candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the fourth noble truth and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle, honoring all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the 10th candle for inclusivity, affirming that all are welcome here. And as we light the healing candle, please put silently into the light names of loved ones, knowing that they have the experience of spiritual eternal love. And as we continue in this presence, the creative power, which is God, is also the creative power, which is me. Therefore, God and I are one. As the creative healing presence moves through me, it moves into action through my consciousness of who and what we are. Blessing this spiritual week, this day, I recognize the God presence, not only in me, but also in all members and friends. As flowers open, a chick hatches into new life, the new grasses of spring come forth. We are renewed. We rise up and praise the day, the week, the joyous look to when and joyously look to when we may come together again soon. As the lovely scent of flowers spring forth, so is our love for one another. I know that this is so. I accept our abundant good and good health. Join me in affirming this as we say together, and so it is. And I would like to say one more thing. Christy Kirkland, if you are hearing us today, please contact me at the center. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judy. And thank you, everybody, for putting up with our technical issues today. At first, I could only get Judy logged in through the browser. And then finally, I was able to get her logged back in through Skype. So I know our service might look a little bit messy today, but we're all here together and we're all celebrating. And it's perfect because, you know, the Easter's all about the death of some things and the resurrection of other things. So it's time for another song from Jamie. And let me see if I can go to Jamie's camera here. Jamie, are you unmuted? Let me unmute you. Let's see. You're unmuted. Okay, there you are. How are you, Jamie?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, how's sequestering at home working out for you guys?
I'm sorry, say that again.
How's sequestering at home working out for you guys?
It's good. Now I'm seeing a picture of someone in the sanctuary looking down at the camera there.
No. There. I'm gonna hang them up. Remove from call. There we go. Okay, now it's just you and me. So
it's been fabulous. We actually had a bunch of rose bushes planted yesterday, which was a great renewal. William being home with Susie and William has been really fabulous. I did a concert last night.
No, your concert was fantastic. That was fun. A lot of people. How many people were on altogether? Looked like a couple of hundred.
Well, I think it was 600 and something like that. Wow. And I looked this morning and like 977 people have gone back and watched it. So
amazing.
Hopefully people are passing it around and doing some watch parties and just enjoying it and being fed.
Well, my brother, I am so honored to have you here. So glad to have you here for our Easter service. So let's have a great song. Here we go.
I'm wearing a tie just for you today, and you're wearing a tie. It might be the first time I ever saw you wear a tie.
Yeah, I'm wearing a purple tie, and you're, of course, wearing an orange tie.
There you go. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. I don't know what the divine plan is. I can't make sense of what I can't see. Yet I know that it's in order, beyond my wildest dreams. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Serenity is not the absence of life going on around me.
It's the stillness I find at any moment, and the truth that sets me free into your hands. I commit my spirit into your hands. I commit my soul into your hands. I surrender all into your hands. Yes. Oh Lord, into your hands. Oh Lord, into your hands. Oh Lord, into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender, I surrender. Into your hands, oh Lord. Won't you sing it with me, people, now? Into your hands, oh Lord. Come on now. Into your hands, oh Lord. My Lord, sweet Lord, dear Lord.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Would it surprise you to find out that I've based my entire talk today on your song?
Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm deeply honored, my brother.
Hang out, and
Thank
we'll get one more song from you near the end of our service. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. So, wow, what a week we've had, and what a week we are having. There was a headline on the news yesterday that said, for the first time in the history of the United States, for the very first, and Jamie, I'm gonna mute you, just so that, oh, you already did mute yourself. Good, good. For the first time in the history of the United States, all 50 states are under an emergency at the same time. It's never happened in our history. And I want to go to these lyrics of Jamie's because, well, here. I don't know what the divine plan is. I can't make sense of what I can't see, yet I know that it's in order beyond my wildest dreams. Into your hands I commit my spirit. Into your hands I commit my soul. Into your hands I surrender. Into your hands, O Lord. Amazing words of faith, Jamie. And they're also what Jesus said as he surrendered his earthly body to God. They were known as the last 7 words of Jesus. The exact quote from Luke 23:46 is, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. That's from Luke 23:46. And of course, you know, the traditional message of Easter is about Jesus's resurrection from his death on the cross. Let's take a look at a little history here.
Easter, the holiest day of the Christian calendar, a celebration of Jesus Christ's resurrection from the dead. So what does this miracle have to do with a bunny delivering painted eggs? The answer lies in 100 generations of rituals and customs. According to the Gospels of the New Testament, Jesus Christ and his apostles entered Jerusalem to observe Passover, the Jewish holy season that celebrates the Hebrews' release from slavery. After the Passover supper, Jesus was arrested, and on what is now called Good Friday, he was crucified. 2 days later, he rose from the dead. Those of Jewish origin were the first to celebrate the resurrection, likely as a new facet of the Passover festival. In fact, the Easter celebration was called Pascha. It's derived from the word Pesach, the Jewish translation for Passover. Originally, Easter was celebrated 2 days after Passover, so it fell on any day of the week. But Easter Wednesday just didn't feel right. In 325 AD, Roman Emperor Constantine and the Council of Nicaea ruled that Easter must fall only on a Sunday, the day when Christ rose. Easter Sunday would be the first Sunday to follow the full moon after the spring equinox. It could occur anywhere between March 22nd and April 25th. Around this same time, Christians began one of the first recorded rituals of the modern Easter celebration, the lighting of the Paschal candle, its flame a reminder of Christ's resurrection, light out of darkness. As Christianity spread throughout Europe, different pagan customs blended into the holidays. In fact, the actual word Easter may have come from Estra, the goddess of spring and fertility, which brings us to the Easter egg. Eggs have been a mythological symbol of birth for thousands of years. Christians adopted the egg as an Easter custom sometime around the 13th century. The yolk inside a shell represented Christ's emergence from the tomb. Eggs were painted red to represent the blood Christ shed on the cross. The colorful Easter egg soon hatched its own traditions. A popular one was egg rolling. In 1876, Congress prohibited kids from playing on the Capitol grounds. So, President Rutherford B. Hayes opened the White House lawn to the little rollers. After that, the White House Easter egg roll became a tradition. So when did that Easter bunny hop into the scene? The fertile rabbit had long been a symbol of new life in European pagan celebrations. Beginning around the 16th century, parents told children that if they behaved, on the eve of Easter, the Osterhaus would come and lay colorful eggs. Children built nests in their homes to entice the rabbit to visit. And so began the customs of the Easter egg hunt and the Easter basket. To help fill out those baskets, 19th century European chocolatiers began making egg-shaped chocolates. The sweet trend quickly spread throughout the world. Today, billions of dollars are spent each year on Easter candy. Easter. It's a joyful day when Christians celebrate the resurrection. For 2,000 years, customs have been added, some spiritual and some fun. But Easter is also the time for families to gather and welcome spring, when new life emerges after the dead of winter.
Yeah. I never knew about the Easter egg thing. I never knew, of course, being Jewish, I knew that the Last Supper was a Passover Seder, and you can clearly see all the Passover stuff on the table. And, of course, we're always taught in terms of our Passover Seder retelling of the story of the Israelites' freedom from bondage of slavery in Egypt that, the Christian celebration of Easter always comes right around this because they're so linked together inextricably. But we never had any idea about this death and resurrection thing. And, Jamie and I both have a good friend. His name is David Alexander. And he recently wrote an article in which he said, resurrection is about something that was dead and rises from that dead state to a new transformed state. It's a transmutation to a new level of consciousness. I love this. He said, nearly all of Jesus's followers gave up on him as a Messiah the moment that he was taken down from the cross because he had failed the messianic savior test that his followers believed that he should or would pass. Their messenger defeated in death, they moved on. But then, sometime in the future, something happened, an insight as to the power of his message, which was that each person has the power of divinity within. Suddenly it hit them. That message is not dependent upon his physical presence. It's alive in their minds, hearts, and being right now. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, in his final Easter message, 1959 or 1960, he talked about his great expectation that we all will continue to live on in whatever form is appropriate to the next phase of our energetic existence. Dr. Holmes believed that whatever it is that makes us alive and awake and aware in this life will also continue to animate our individualized souls beyond the human grave. And although Dr. Holmes clearly had confidence that each of us will continue on as part of the eternal flame of life, he also encouraged us to live our best life right now here on earth, the best life that we're capable of right now here on earth. He wrote, the spirit that raised Jesus dwells in all. This spirit quickens our mortal bodies when we let it. And here's a lesson in mental and spiritual healing. As the truth dawns upon the subjective state of our thought, it stimulates it into newness of action. Everything works from within out. Everything works from within out. And, because everything works from within out, what we really can't let ourselves do is let any focus on what's coming in the future rob us of the experience of living the best life we can in this moment right now in this body. And we also can't allow whatever may have happened in the past that we think about in terms of regret to also prevent us from being present in this moment. I love the writing of Khalil Gibran, and he said, our anxiety does not come from thinking about the future, but from wanting to control the future. Our anxiety doesn't come from thinking about the future, but from wanting to control it. And then again, I go back to Jamie's lyrics. I don't know what the divine plan is. I can't make sense of what I can't see, yet I know that it's in order beyond my wildest dreams. In other words, don't wait for things to get better before you bring out the magnificence that is you, that is already in you right now, and share that magnificence with the world. Don't wait for God to part the Red Sea for you, if anybody has watched the Ten Commandments this week. Don't wait for God to part the Red Sea for you. God is waiting for you. The impersonal nature of God's metaphysical universe is waiting for you to have your Easter moment when you realize the power of the divine within you. Don't wait for love at some future time. Don't hope for freedom later. Don't wish for peace to come. Instead, let's all allow the qualities of love and freedom and peace to come alive in us right now. Because when we turn to these qualities and accept them in our consciousness as the truth of who we are, that's when they come back to life in us and as this world. Because what we think about has a direct link to what we're experiencing. So for all of us New Thought thinkers, it's customary at Easter time for us to celebrate eternal life as something that we're living right now. But our experience of that eternal life, that heaven on earth, begins with what we're thinking and what we're living right now in this moment. Because we're here to grow and we're here to learn. But even more importantly, we're here to claim and live our highest expression of life right now and to release those things that no longer serve us so that each of us can move on to new areas that call to us, new ideas that the divine evolutionary urge within us is pulling us towards. My friend and colleague, Dr. Margaret Stortz, she writes about resurrection in a practical and personal way. She said, every day that we wake up, we're engaging in a kind of resurrection. Every day that we wake up, we are engaging in a kind of resurrection. And she's asking us to remember that there are always possibilities waiting for us, and to let each day's resurrection have a meaning by being mindful of how we want to wake up and how we want to show up in this world. What's your first thought in the morning? What's your last thought the night before? Do you bless the day that's coming? I try to do my best to bless the day that's coming tomorrow and to bless it as soon as I wake up in the morning. And, our theme for this month of April is bright beginnings. What would a new bright beginning look like in your life right now? Is that laughable with everything that's going on? This week, the second week of April, we're talking about broken open. And, broken open. Our infrastructure is broken down. We've completely broken open. You know, breaking out of our shell, our comfort zone, breaking out of old ways of being and believing, emerging in the new. Could anything be newer than what we're going through right now? You know, breaking out of our shell. Our infrastructure is completely, different. It's completely. I was listening to, NPR this morning, and the woman who's the chief of staff to the governor of Illinois, and she was talking on NPR about how they're trying to negotiate to get all the medical things they need, all the respirators and all this stuff. Catherine Demke says, beautiful. I will turn into sparkles in the sky when I transition. Absolutely, you will. Anyway, this woman on NPR was talking this morning about this. It's like the wild, wild west with all the states trying to compete with each other to buy respirators. And California was able to put up $500 million, because California had the money. And smaller states like Illinois, which is not a small state, but doesn't have the same kind of money that California has. Or think of Rhode Island or Delaware, these small states that are trying to compete for, they all need thousands and thousands of respirators, and they're getting like 10 at a time or 12 at a time. The power of life to live itself through and as us is not being diminished because of what's going on around us. In fact, it's greater. Eric Butterworth, who was a great Unity teacher, he wrote, life does not grow old. Life does not deteriorate. Life doesn't die. Life is an eternal, dynamic, flowing process. Life is a process of renewal and regeneration. Life is a process of renewal and regeneration. And isn't that what's going on right now? Exactly. Life is, let's go back. I want to go back from that. Exactly. Life is a process of renewal and regeneration, and that's especially true now in this new paradigm. Life's circumstances are pointing us to new ways of expressing, new ways of being. So many things are changing that so many things are new. In the way that we work from home, Sharon has now got like a month of doing teletherapy under her belt. And we've watched the evolution of how, we're interacting with each other through my daily calls and the prayer calls that I'm getting back through the text line and everything. Everything's new. Everything's new. And, speaking of new experiences, here's something that I want you to see that hasn't happened on planet Earth in many, many lifetimes. Take a look at this. Take a look at this. This is the moment that the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem was closed this week due to the coronavirus. The last time they closed the doors and locked the doors to this church was in 1349 during the Black Death of the bubonic plague. 1349. Over 650 years ago, during the Black Death. And what's really fascinating is the story is this guy with the keys. I'm going to pause this video right here. This guy right here with the keys. This church is in the Christian quarter of the old city of Jerusalem. And within the boundaries of this church, within its complex, are the two holiest sites in all of Christianity. The site where Jesus was crucified and the empty tomb where he's said to have been buried and then resurrected. And those are within the fenced area of you can see on the right side of your screen the picture of the church from the outside, and then in the center this guy is locking the doors. First time the doors have been locked since the 14th century. This is where this gets really interesting. This site has existed in one form or another since the 4th century AD, so 1600 years, and it actually is occupied and lived in by several different rival Christian denominations. And these denominations don't really agree on much of anything, and there's conflict between them, and it's been a recurring conflict for 1600 years. Here's the really fascinating part of the story. Since the 7th century, a single Sunni Muslim family has held the keys to this church, and this guy is the head of this family, the guy who's locking this door right now. And this is even true today to try and avoid the clashes among these rival Christian sects for control over the church's front doors. They gave the keys to Muslims. And we don't often hear stories in the media about Muslims keeping the peace among rival Christian sects. And what's interesting is it's such a fascinating story, and the story was surprisingly absent in the news this week. But what a wonderful story this is about how in this holiest place in Christendom, the person who owns the keys to the door, the front door, is a Sunni Muslim, and he has the keys to prevent the Christians from arguing with each other about how and when they're going to lock the doors. So they locked them this week because of the coronavirus. Talk about things, how things are changing for us and how this new paradigm is breaking everything open. What we're seeing now is that this is the time when newness is emerging. And this is the time to listen to our divine intuition and allow, in our own experience, change to emerge. Because change is happening all around us, and our experiences here on planet Earth are evolving, and something, an old way of being, has died, and something else is being resurrected. Our infrastructure is completely breaking down and changing. And what's interesting is that that's also removing a lot of our mental blocks to our divine evolution, because, you know, there's never been 16 million people out of work all at once. There's never been every single state in the United States under lockdown. You know, but what I'm seeing so much of is that our resistance to experiencing our good is also crumbling. People are more and more open to good and kindness, and people are acting in very kind ways, and there's a lot of actual good news. Like so many of us, actor John Krasinski is stuck at home right now with his kids and his wife. And he's looking for ways to make sense of all this. So he started his own news show called Some Good News. Here, take a look at some of John Krasinski's good news.
Good evening, everybody, even though it is very clearly the afternoon, and welcome to SGN. John, what is SGN? That's a good question. For years now, I've been wondering, why is there not a news show dedicated entirely to good news? Well, desperately seeking my fix somewhere else, I reached out to all of you this week, asking, nay begging, for some good news. And boy, did you deliver. After reading those replies and the incredibly heartwarming stories that came with them, I thought, all right, enough is enough, world. Why not us? Why not now? So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your fault, and this is SGN. I'm John Krasinski, and if it isn't clear yet, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. And now, for some good news. And what a week for good news it was. Because yes, without question, we are all going through an incredibly trying time. But through all the anxiety, through all the confusion, all the isolation, and all the Tiger King, somehow the human spirit still found a way to break through and blow us all away. Nowhere was that seen more powerfully than in the heroism of the global healthcare community. Now, these men and women are working day in and day out. They are putting their own health on the lines. They are putting their own lives on the lines for complete and total strangers. And they're doing it without the need for so much as a thank you. Well, luckily the thank yous came anyway. And the heartfelt appreciation was seen on a global scale. In Spain, police lined the street outside their local hospital and flashed their lights and applauded their appreciation for their hospital staff. In London, an ICU nurse told her boyfriend she didn't believe there would be any clapping. She was wrong. Even out at sea, NATO sailors and staff applaud their healthcare heroes back home from their command centers, the decks of their ships, and even underwater. And the love and appreciation was felt right here at home in the US, whether from the balconies of lit up apartment buildings to the old-fashioned up-close and personal kind, where a man holds up a sign simply saying thank you to the hospital staff for saving his wife's life. And of course, you can find more of those amazing images and videos on our Facebook page. Or let's be honest, pretty much anywhere else on the internet. For instance, if you're looking for a more heart-wrenching music video version, just check out this guy's page. Or this guy. And the good news didn't stop out there. Oh no, even indoors in the weird world of isolation, good news.
What's up, man?
Are you taking? Can we take one of these?
Yeah, absolutely. It's for you.
Oh man, you're a lifesaver. Thank you.
So one guy was giving away toilet paper and hand sanitizer on his front lawn. You can find more episodes of John's Some Good News each week on YouTube. Easter is a perfect day, I think, for each of us to examine what's going on right now and what's going on in our lives, with the intention of allowing things that don't work for us to die and allowing things that work for us to be resurrected. Brandy says, I'm crying. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing this. Well, Brandy and everybody else, go on YouTube and go look up John Krasinski's Some Good News. And that's pretty cool, you know. In this pandemic paradigm, you know, let's pay attention to see, are we in the midst of something dying, or are we in the midst of something birthing on our planet? Are we living in a void? Are we feeling uncomfortable, not knowing what's coming next? Or, as Jamie encourages us, are we knowing that it's all in order beyond our wildest dreams? Because today on Easter, what I want for each of us is to allow our lives to be broken open to newness, to the birth of some new expression of God's love, and to also see the value in each step of the process and be open to claiming the next highest expression of our lives with excitement and with anticipation and without fear. Because I like to remind us each week that God in us, as us, is us. And I have a backronym for us this week based on our talk title, which is Broken Open. I bravely rely on karmic energy now, our perfect, eternal nature. I bravely rely on karmic energy now, our perfect, eternal nature. Right. We're stating that our 2020 vision is one life in focus, one life in focus. And Dr. Holmes, of course, reminds us that our experience is perfect God, perfect human, and perfect being. Perfect God, perfect human, and perfect being. So I'm requesting us all to join me in prayer. Let me go to a camera here. Where's there a camera? Right here. There we go. I'm going to put on some Donna Michael in the background. Some Sacred Silence of Donna Michael in the background. Here, let me play this. Oh, there it is. Can you hear that? Let's all take a breath. Let's take a breath together. What I know is that there is only one life. And that life is divine. That life is perfect. And what I know is that right where each of us is, that life is expressing itself joyfully and easily and effortlessly. So today I bless our time together. I bless our Easter celebrations. I bless the idea of the renewal of our ability to express ourselves, to enjoy seeing the manifestation of our thoughts and beliefs into our lives as experiences. I know that whatever's going on around us is part of a divine unfoldment of our highest good, regardless of how it may look. And so I bless our day, I bless our week, I bless our community. I'm so grateful to each of us who are here today. I'm grateful for Jamie joining us and for Judy and Lori coming in to facilitate the practitioner on our service. I simply know that all is well. And in this knowing, I release this word gratefully into the action of that loving law, and I let it be and I let it go, as together we affirm. And so it is. And so it is. I want to thank you guys so much for continuing to contribute during this time. Charlou Roberts is on. That's nice to see. Hi, Charlou. Those of you who've been using our e-giving platform, Give Plus Mobile, thank you for joining, in our community and helping us keep doing the work that we're doing. I also know that you can, if you don't like the the Give Plus Mobile app, you can just simply go to our website, and when you go to our website, you scroll all the way down the bottom of our website, like this, and right there is the donate button, and you can donate from there. And of course, you can also just mail in your support. High Desert Center for Spiritual Living, 18575 Corwin Road, Apple Valley, California, 92307. And of course, our web address is high-desertcsl.org. And so let's say our giving affirmation together, which is: divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And whenever I have any kind of a financial transaction, I always say to myself, I bless this gift in faith, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. After service, we're going to have a Zoom meeting for fellowship before I go in to cook the Easter ham. And the Zoom meeting ID is 551-367-487. Are you writing that down, Jamie? I'll text it to you. 551-367-487, or you can call in at 669-900-6833. Now, if you don't have Zoom installed on your computer, you can simply go to zoom.us/join. And if you go to zoom.us/join, although I don't know anybody that doesn't have Zoom in this day and age, it's one of the new paradigms. But if you do go to that web page, you'll see a page that looks like this: join a meeting. And then you can put that number right in that box, 551-367-487, and that will take you into our Zoom meeting right after service. And yeah, so I'm gonna pull up my uke here, and I'm gonna do a closing blessing, and then we'll go directly into Jamie singing one of my favorite songs. Sarah Erickson said, "Thank you so much for doing online service. It has allowed me to reconnect to the center." I'm so glad, Sarah. Thank you. So here I go. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and I am grateful. Life is good, and so it is. I know that the divine indwelling spirit blesses and protects you. I know that Spirit is kind and gracious through you and as you. And I know that Spirit shines its light upon you and is your peace. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing one more time. All is well, and I am grateful. All is well, and now it's time to let it go. All is well, and I am grateful. It is. Life is good, and so it is. Well, we have had a lot of technical issues today, but no technical issues can stop us from enjoying Jamie Lula's last song. Let me get Jamie on screen here. Let me unmute yourself, Jamie.
I unmuted
They're
myself.
unmuted. All right, Jamie, hit us with my favorite Jamie Lula.
Times. Thank you so much, High Desert Center for Spiritual Living.
Your light, your love, you're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I breathe, yes I feel. When I La-di-di-di-di-di-di. Put one foot in front of the other, and your reflection always there. You never leave your confidence to express in and there's me. Oh, you're perfect. You're golden. You're the light of my life. You're my life. So I'll keep looking at you to keep moving. You're the light of my life. You're my love from far in you. It's me, die, 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 perfect. Go, you're perfect. Go, you're perfect. Go, perfect. Golden, you're perfect.